Hello, my friend. Come in, sit down by the fire. You look exhausted, not just tired in the body, but tired in the deep places of your soul. You have the nice car in the driveway, the beautiful suburban house, the steadily growing retirement account. You did everything the world told you to do. You are the absolute picture of middle-class success. But tell me, why do you lie awake at 2 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, feeling like you have somehow missed the entire point of being alive? I know that look. I saw it in the mirror for 40 years. Well, let me take you back to the autumn of 2008. You remember it, do you not? The global financial markets were bleeding. Screens were flashing violent red. Trillions of dollars of paper wealth simply evaporated into the cold October air. I had a dear friend named Thomas. Thomas was the ultimate successful middle-class man. He worked 60-hour weeks, maximized his 401k contributions, and never took a single vacation that was not secretly attached to a business trip. He used to sit in my study and tell me, "I am building an impenetrable fortress for my family." But when the market crash came, his fortress crumbled to dust. His portfolio dropped by half in a matter of terrible months. But the real tragedy was not the lost money. It was the afternoon we sat in his dark, quiet office, looking at the blinking red numbers on his terminal. He started weeping. He looked at me with hollow eyes and said, "I traded my son's entire childhood for a portfolio of bank stocks, and now both are gone." He realized, in that terrible, heavy moment, the great illusion of our modern time. We treat our lives like a corporate balance sheet, hoarding our precious time as if we can somehow cash it in at the end with guaranteed interest. But the market of life does not guarantee your principal, and it certainly does not guarantee your tomorrow. This heartbreaking realization brings me to the 7 great regrets of the so-called successful middle class. Regret number 1, the one more year syndrome. In the stock market, we call this pure greed. You hit your target, you reach your number, but suddenly the target moves. You say to yourself, just one more year of this stressful, soul-crushing job to pad the account, just to be absolutely safe. I knew a brilliant engineer named David who did exactly this. When he hit his retirement number at 55, the market was on a massive bull run. He stayed just one more year to capture the gains. The market corrected, his portfolio dipped, and he stayed 5 more years to recover. By the time he finally retired at 60, his knees were completely gone, and he could no longer take the mountain hiking trips he had dreamed of for decades. He traded the mountains for a slightly thicker brokerage statement, a terrible, tragic trade. Regret number 2, believing a house is a home rather than an asset trap. How many couples buy the absolute biggest house they can qualify for, locking themselves into 30 years of relentless, exhausting labor? They become house rich, but life poor. They willingly put on golden handcuffs and call it the American dream. The market always tells us that real estate goes up, but the market never prices in the heavy emotional cost of your lost freedom. Regret number 3, investing heavily in the S&P 500 while completely ignoring your own human capital. Your human capital is your physical health, your peace of mind, your deeply rooted relationships. In the markets, we know that diversification protects us from catastrophic loss, but the successful middle class often puts all their emotional capital into one single stock, their career. When that career ends, or when they are laid off during a recession, they face a total psychological collapse. They did not diversify their identity. I have seen millionaires who cannot walk up a single flight of stairs without losing their breath. I have known men with massive bank accounts who eat dinner alone every single night because they neglected their marriages for their promotions. You compounded your money beautifully, but you let your actual life go bankrupt. Regret number 4, the illusion of safety. The middle class is terrified of risk, so they play it incredibly safe. They take the secure job, they follow the standard, predictable path. You look at government bonds yielding a steady, predictable 2%. It feels incredibly safe, does it not? But when inflation is running at 5%, your safe investment is mathematically guaranteed to lose value. The middle-class life path is the human equivalent of a low-yield bond. You take the corporate job, you commute 2 hours a day, you keep your head down, it feels safe. But the inflation of time is silently eating away at your youth. By the time the bond matures, the money is worthless. By the time your safe career ends, your youth is gone. The profound regret of never trying to start that dream business, or write that book, or travel the world when you had the legs for it, is an incredibly heavy burden to carry in your twilight years. Regret number 5, buying things to hedge against your own unhappiness. Retail therapy. We buy luxury cars and designer clothes to signal to neighbors we barely even know that we are doing well. It is exactly like buying a terrible, fundamentally flawed stock just because the ticker symbol sounds impressive to your friends. True wealth is the quiet, unbreakable confidence of not having to prove anything to anyone. Regret number 6. The deferred life plan. This is perhaps the greatest tragedy of all. We are systematically taught to defer our joy. Save now, live later. Wait until retirement to travel. Wait until retirement to spend meaningful time with your spouse. Wait until the mortgage is paid off to finally breathe. But my friends, the market of life is infinitely more volatile than any stock exchange. I have buried far too many good friends who finally retired at 65, only to be handed a terminal medical diagnosis at 66. They saved all their joy, all their beautiful dreams for a tomorrow that simply never came. Regret number 7. Forgetting that money is merely a tool, not the masterpiece itself. Money is a hammer. You can use it to build a beautiful warm house, or you can hit yourself on the thumb with it over and over again. The successful middle class often spends their entire lives endlessly collecting hammers, obsessing over the size of their hammer collection, but they never actually build the house of their dreams. They forget that the true currency of life is not dollars, it is time and shared experiences. I learned this painful lesson the hard way. Many years ago, during a historic market rally in the late 90s, I was completely glued to my trading screens. The numbers were flying, the profits were rolling in. My young daughter came into my home office holding a picture she had just drawn with her crayons. I waved her away without even looking at her face. I told her, "Daddy is very busy right now making money for our future. Go play." She quietly, sadly, put the picture on the corner of my desk and walked out, her little shoulders slumped. I did not look at that piece of paper until the market finally closed hours later. It was a picture of her and me holding hands under a bright yellow sun. At the top, in her clumsy childhood handwriting, she had written, "I wish Daddy had time today." My heart completely stopped. That simple, fragile piece of paper is worth more than any stock certificate, any treasury bond, any property deed I have ever owned. It was my ultimate margin call, a devastating margin call on my very soul. I realized I was bankrupting my family's present moment to fund a future that might not even matter. You see, my friend, the financial markets will always be there. They will boom, they will crash, they will recover, and they will crash again. But your time is a strictly depreciating asset. Every single breath you take is an irreplaceable gold coin spent from a purse that you can never, ever refill. Do not reach the end of your life with a perfect, pristine credit score and a completely bankrupt soul. Do not strive to be the richest person in the graveyard. Real success is going to sleep every single night with deep peace in your heart, Real wealth is having people who genuinely love you, who want to be around you, not because of what you can buy them, but because of who you are. So take the trip, make the memory, hug your children, leave the office an hour early. The market will open again tomorrow morning, but today is gone forever. If this message resonated with your spirit today, please subscribe to the channel. Share this video with someone who is working far too hard and forgetting how to actually live. Leave a comment below and tell me what one thing you are going to change today to take your life back. Until next time, remember to invest deeply in your life, not just your portfolio. Take care of yourself